The New York Knicks have officially entered the second round, and while the national media is celebrating Philadelphia's comeback against Boston, a 3-1 comeback, the even-keeled perspective is that the 76ers are walking directly into a structural nightmare. We are seeing a level of total tactical synchronization from this 53-win Knicks roster that is not just playoff intensity, it's a surgical dismantling of star-heavy systems. Now, don't get me wrong, Philly is talented and they do have a former MVP in Joel Embiid, but they are physically exhausted and tactically exposed. Today we're moving past the hype to break down the Philly protocol. We are analyzing the high post battle between Cat and Embiid, the defensive connectivity required to slow down one Tyrese Maxey, and why the Garden architecture is built to protect home court at all costs. To understand the macro context of Game 1, you have to look at the disparity in energy. The Knicks closed out Atlanta in 6 games with a historic 51-point blowout, giving this roster nearly 3 days of recovery and film study. Philly, on the other hand, had just survived a 3-1 deficit and a high-stakes Game 7 on the road. The architecture of a deep playoff run depends on sustainability. While the 76ers have been playing desperate, high-usage basketball for 2 weeks, the Knicks have been refining their rotation logic. We are fresh, we are at home, and we have the edge in nearly every defensive category, so the goal for tomorrow night is not just a win, it's a physical statement that round 2 belongs to New York. Now, we do have to talk about the hub of this series, the collision between Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid. In the past, this was a battle of traditional post play, but the high post revolution has changed the math. Cat is currently operating as a surgical facilitator from the elbow, which forces Embiid to leave the paint and defend in space. If Embiid stays home to protect the rim, Cat punishes him from deep or finds the open cutter. If Embiid steps up, the paint is exposed for Jalen Brunson's architectural deceleration. This is the fatal flaw in the Philly defense. They rely on Embiid as a safety net, but against our new offensive hierarchy, that net is being stretched to its breaking point. Cat does not need to outscore Embiid, he just needs to outmaneuver him, and right now the tactical synchronization favors the Knicks. Now let's address the wild card for Game 1, the perimeter lockdown on Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is the engine of the 76ers transition game, but he is walking into a defensive floor anchored by Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. The Bridges resurrection that we saw in the Atlanta closeout was not just about his scoring, it was about his return to elite point of attack defense. But the real wild card might be Jeremy Sochan or Jose Alvarado. We saw Sochan's 10-point spark in Game 5, even though in garbage time minutes, but only in 3 minutes played, and his size at 6'8" is the perfect structural answer for Philly's wing depth with Paul George and Kelly Oubre. If Mike Brown decides to unleash Sochan for a disciplined 10-minute stretch, he can disrupt Maxey's rhythm and force Philly into a half-court game that they cannot win. Our bench depth with Deuce, Clarkson, and Mitch, and even possibly Landry Shamet if they do decide to go that route, is a tactical luxury that Philly simply does not have a 7-game answer to. The top guy off the 76ers bench, their 6th man, is Quentin Grimes, but after that there's a big drop-off to guys like Justin Edwards, who's a decent young player but nothing crazy, and a past his prime Andre Drummond. So closing this out, protecting home court in Game 1 is a structural necessity tomorrow night. The architecture is stable, the stars are performing at a surgical level, and the Garden is ready to be the 6th man. And Mitchell Robinson did not forget what Joel Embiid did to him 2 years ago that took him out of the next season because of that injury. So he will be extra motivated to stop Embiid this round. And that's not going to be an easy task, but Mitchell Robinson does have experience with Embiid, so he just needs to stay disciplined and stay on his feet. And the same thing goes to Karl Anthony Towns. Do not jump when Embiid pump fakes. That's his type of way to get you baited into a foul call. So yes, Philly is not to be underestimated and they are a dangerous opponent, but they are walking into a system that has been perfected over 53 wins and a dominant first round against the Hawks. I'm staying even-keeled, but tomorrow night is about execution, not emotion. We set the tone early, we protect the paint, and we take control of the narrative. Let me know in the comments who is your primary X factor for the Philly series, and do you believe the Cat Embiid matchup is the key to the finals? I'll be in the comments all day talking hoops as we get ready for tip-off. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.